us all this long, and this evening, today we are privileged to have the new chairman of FDC Kasese district, and he is a scholar, he is an engineer, and very many other activities and other work that he's doing. We are going to be interacting with him. Of course, we know how our country is moving in as political sphere is concerned. We are going to be talking about the leadership of FDC as a party at the district level, at the national level, and the politics of this country, and trying to shade a picture of how the opposition is standing as of now. 2023 is coming to an end, as we shall be proceeding and painting a picture of how and it will shape the 2026 general elections here in Uganda. I'm going to be introducing him. We are going to have a short interview with him. Of course, we will have to see how he will be trying to explain some of the issues that are rotating around Kasese district as a party and the country at large. Then we shall be calling it a day, as we will be bringing you more and more visitors. I'm having Mr. KABUKU RONALD, the chairperson FDC Kasese district, and he's an engineer, and he will also introduce more titles and more of his work and what he intends to do maybe in the future. You are welcome, Mr. KABUKU.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Yeah, and also, please, me too.
Yeah, we are thrilled to be at the FDC headquarters, Kasese district, and we are having some Kachope on camera. Is getting us clearly. So we are going to start with your political journey as Mr. KABUKU, because we know that you've been a leader since maybe some start from primary, secondary, maybe LC2, LC1. Then we come to this big office that you have assumed, I think 3 months ago, or
close to 3 months.
Close to 3 months.
Close to 3 months.
Yeah. So you can introduce yourself, home, and your school in the first place.
Okay, briefly, I am KABUKU RONALD.
Yes.
We are married in the birth hierarchy. I am the second male born.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In the traditional hierarchy. I am a born of Chowa.
That should be Masereka.
No, we are married. Is the second male born.
Mumbe is the first.
Mumbe is the first. In case the first born is a male.
Is a female.
No.
Is a male.
Yes, is a male. Then if the first born is a female and the second born is a male, then that is Muhindo.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Then the second, or the one who follows, the man who follows now the Muhindo. Okay? In that order of first female, second male, and the second male born is well married. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's what it means.
So you are the second born.
I am the second male born.
Thank you.
Yes.
So you were born in Kasese.
In Kasese, as a district, then in Wera, sub-county.
Right.
My village home is Chowa. I am a married gentleman with 5 children. I am learned and of course educated.
Yes.
I should say.
Yeah.
I am an engineer by profession. As of now, I am into private works. I'm not employed by anyone. I am self-employed. I run educational institutions, some in Kasese, some in Fort Koto.
Education institutions?
Yes.
Schools?
Schools, yes.
Okay.
And of course, as an engineer, as a technician, I also do contract some single civil works.
All right.
Yeah, like someone maybe has the house, need someone to do the engineering supervision. I do also.
Okay.
I also do.
Okay.
I have worked with the government in the previous years, and 2015 I decided to relocate myself from civil service into private work. That is after realizing that it was time to fulfill my political dream of getting into elective politics. So 2015, I made a mind that I should run for the position of Member of Parliament in Uganda West and on the FDC ticket.
And you did?
I did run in the primaries, but it wasn't my chance and time. That time was in the interest of the people of Uganda West. Was the time for Honorable Kasese. It was the one who garnered the majority vote in our primary elections, and of course we had to give him support. Finally, we went to Parliament, as it is to get. Then in 2020, having realized how Honorable Kasese was active in Parliament in the first term, I felt it wouldn't be good to run against him in the 2020 primary elections.
Yes.
So I decided to make a changeover of position and felt I should run for LC5, the chairperson flagship, which I ran with my other 3 colleagues, including the then incumbent, who was Honorable Chairman my elder brother, and still God said no, first wait. It is not yet your time. Let Chairman Sivendile again push the FDC flag.
Okay.
Yeah, the people of Kasese in the FDC family gave him the flag. What happened in the general elections, the people of Kasese know. Much as I would not love all the time to keep making them remember how the election was stolen, that election of Chairman Sivendile.
Allegedly?
Yeah.
Is it allegedly? Has it proved?
The legal minds may want me or may push me to use that, but of course, but of course, as someone at least who was in the field during that whole campaign, up to the polling day, I witnessed more than what was enough. It is one reason that I am convinced, fully convinced, that Chairman Sivendile election was stolen. Okay. So legally, the land fellows, as they call themselves, they claim I should have used that literature of allegations, maybe to pay off what they would love to hear in their ears. Let me call it an allegation.
It's an allegation.
Let me call it an allegation.
So, 2020, you stood for primaries?
For primaries, because I did not go through.
So, 2021 elections, you didn't come as independent?
No, I did not.
Because we saw many colleagues within the party, they came as independents after their
Yes, many did. Of course, for that particular office, the LC5, one of our colleagues that we are competing the flag for with came back as an independent. But finally, God willing, he realized the mistake, he realized the error, and finally he's back into the family. Okay. Yeah, in fact, we welcomed him again some 3 months back, close to 3 months then. So we no longer call him an independent.
He's back home.
He's back home now.
Okay. So 2021, the elections, you were not partaking in any.
No, I did not run for after the primary elections. Now, I did not run for any elective position after the flag competition.
All right.
But the party entrusted me in that general election, entrusted me to serve as the district task force chairperson. In fact, I was the overall overseer of the elections for all FDC candidates. including the party, the presidential flag bearer.
Yes.
Yeah. So since then, I have been doing party activities and assignments, including in the most recent by-election for Songora South.
Yes.
MPC. I was still the chairperson task force representing the national team and the district team.
Right.
So I have been all that time. I have been at the helm of coordinating the electoral activities of FDC in the district.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So 2021 elections got done, and we got some members of parliament, of course, 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them after losing 3 again in a mysterious manner.
Yes.
Yeah, which is still regrettable. Yeah.
Of course.
Would have taken all the 3 if it was not
for that something that is not understood that happened during that time.
To say,
do you want to say
it was not NRM mercenaries?
You want to say it was also rigged, or it was?
Yes, vividly, like Songora North. The win for Honorable Nzo William was daylight, broad daylight. It was really wrong.
Okay, I think there is much we can talk about that, but now let us come to the point. Now, after 2021 elections, we got some members of parliament. Now, 2022, 2023, we had FDC primaries for the leaders. With the internal
structure election.
Yes. Then there we had you contesting. And you were elected the chairperson.
Yes, please.
That one was in media. I was trying to monitor, and it was seen that you won. You won with the majority, and you won. You truly won.
Yes.
There is no bias on that. Now we had before you assumed the office, we had some within the leadership at the national level, as if there was something. It's still there. There is no cohesion with the leaders. Some are belonging to Katonga faction, some remained at Najana Kundi.
Yes.
But we did see that happening here, because as if here there was decorum. You decided to take the right path. You agreed with the outgoing Mr. Saul Mate.
Yes.
And what is the question in many Ugandans and the people of Kasese and Rwenzori, the FDC fraternity, they're asking themselves, the new leadership is siding with which faction of the 2?
No, the new leadership is the FDC.
Yes, it is FDC.
Yes.
But we have to, we can't rule this out, that we have now 2 factions of FDCs. I didn't want to call them 2 FDCs, but factions.
Now that you have also failed to term them 2 FDCs, is the same way I can't ally myself to any of the 2. And by the way, I should say, now that you also appreciate that it is one FDC, but
2 factions.
No, there can't be 2 factions.
Yes.
It is one FDC, but with a faction.
Let me set it clear. What makes it 2 factions? We have the party chairman, the outgoing, Mr. Billy Bawaso. Before he quit the office, he had organized a delegates conference. And one of the resolutions was to have an interim president, as opposed to the the then president, who was Mr. Power. So that means we have the interim president, who is Mr. Elias Ukwamu, and we also have the then president, who was relieved of his office, of his duties as the president, who is Mr. Power. So right now we have 2 factions of FDC. That one is VVD. Maybe if you want to.
I think what I can bring out in this out of your narration. is that as a leader, as a current district chairperson, who was voted in an election or through an election, that partly was contested, okay, by a section of FDC members, okay, who went to court. I am talking about a process, a legal process, right away from village structure up to the national, okay?
Yes.
They went to court, contesting the process of the election that, or where I imagine as a district chairperson. And now that court has not pronounced
actually
themselves.
Court I think gave its judgment. It said the meeting of Chairman Waswabirugwa then it was done not in the right procedures, and thereafter it maintained the status quo. But now we see this, because the powers within the chairman's jurisdiction is supposed to have that meeting, and they should have resolutions and present them to the general FDC fraternity. And that's what they did.
You see, Madam Moderator, I may not wish and love to dwell into the legalities of this, because I'm aware that another section, the Katonga section, also, though there is a ruling so far, okay, on whether the extraordinary National Delegates Conference held on 19 was legitimate or not, okay?
Yes.
But there is also another petition in the court, okay?
Yes.
Against the process that some of us went through. And that petition is still pending.
Yes.
So it is one reason as Kasese leaders, have decided not to own any of the sections, like you want to put it.
No, on that, Mr. Chairman, we saw your predecessor, Mr.
Chairman
Saul Matei,
Governor.
Yes. We have seen him not once, not twice at Katonga, and we have not seen you also associating yourself with that faction.
The Katonga faction.
Yes.
No, but I was there on 19th.
On 19th?
On 19th I was there.
Okay, thanks for the correction.
On 19th I was there. But still being there, you know, this, what you see, what you witness in the party is something that may not have a sealed. It
has no boundary. You want to call it?
Not necessarily that. Not necessarily that. But I want to bring it in a way that what you are seeing in the party, or what you have been seeing in the party, should not surprise you. Seeing me today in Katonga, and after a week you see me in Niger. Like in the original, in the book, of course, in the Genesis, I had already told you, or I did tell you that as Kasese leadership,
yes,
we agreed that beyond these factions, the current factions, FDC should prevail.
Yes.
And which is that FDC? That FDC, we define it as the membership on ground or on grassroots. And our basis as leadership at district level, sub-county level and constituency, we agreed that for now, for a meantime, we should not mudslide ourselves into calling ourselves, I am Katonga, I am Naja.
So you are as FDC Kasese?
We FDC that subscribe to the FDC that has a mainstream.
Which is that, in this regard?
Of course, in this regard,
because the outgoing chairman, before his term expired, he had.
Okay, let me ask you, before you go far, who organized the election that where I imagined the chairperson?
At that time, I think we were still in the old regime.
You were in the city?
Yes, which was led by the chairman, Mr. Waswabili.
Okay. Okay, that if that is the case,
yes.
it is that very system, the system that put me in office. Yes. That is the system that I belong to.
Okay. Now
but not Katonga, not Katonga, not Naja.
Now the viewer can make his own rule.
Maybe that way.
Yes.
Okay, in simple terms, maybe to help the viewer, let me put it more clear.
Yes.
As leadership of Kasese,
yes,
we chose not to factionalize our FDC operations. That's why even if you had it tomorrow, chairman once will be in Kasese.
Yes.
I will be there. Because I still recognize him as a member of FDC.
Yes.
The other day when you hear Uncle Chairman Jack Summit,
yes,
he's also, will also be in Kasese, I will still do the same. I will welcome him. You get the point?
Yes.
Though, in the legal framework, which I would not want to get into, because up to now, like I put it, the courts of law have not made it more clear for any layman thinking to exactly get to know
where to go. Where to go or where to
not
go?
Where to go. For us, we belong to FDC. That is it. Hey,
okay.
Let me put this clear, by the way. We made a resolution, and this was the very hall where we are seated. We made a resolution that we shall remain FDC.
One Uganda,
one people. Anything to do with the factions, Katonga, Naja na Ngumbi, you can state or you can belong to any of them immediately after crossing Ruimi and Katungu. But as long as you are still here, the only message you should preach, the only message you should believe in is FDC. The FDC of one Uganda, one people.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think he's not trying to bring out clear where FDC Kasese is falling, is belonging to Katonga or Naja na Ngumbi. But you can make your own judgment according to his words.
But FDC is one.
FDC, yes, is one.
Only that they are descending voices.
All right.
In the media, in fact, this the media houses are trying to escalate.
But that's the factual. It is
yes, it could be factual, but you are failing to understand that you can't have two factions. There must be a main. Then it is from that main that you have a descending voice. Now what you would be describing as a faction. But you cannot have two factions. No, we can't have two registered FDCs. Not at all. We can't have two chairpersons.
Of FDC.
No, but you can have another chairperson with a descending voice.
Okay.
You get it?
Yes.
Yes, this is what I mean. For example, like look here. Like after the general election of 2016.
Yes.
You remember after declaring candidate Museveni, yes. By then, Kano yesterday also was declared.
And what? And
okay.
He sworn in.
He was sworn in as president.
Yes.
Now, would you say Uganda had two presidents?
I don't know how you tell me.
No. You see?
I don't know how you tell me.
So this is more or less the same.
Okay.
That we have a descending voice within the party. Okay.
Yes.
But FDC is one.
Okay.
And I belong to that one FDC.
Thank you, Chairman KABUKU. Putting that aside a little bit, we are now going to talk about another issue. We are going to talk about the opposition now, yes, at large.
Yes.
How do you see the opposition currently? We've heard of the recent, we've seen the FDC having its new leadership, of course where you belong, yes, taking on now more 5 years. And we've seen other political parties, they are like the National Unity Platform, they have opened up their new offices, and purportedly it's the first political party to have a permanent home, maybe second to UPC at the Uganda House.
What about FDC?
FDC, we are not getting facts whether the Naja na Ngumbi is rented.
No, Naja na Ngumbi is our permanent home.
Let's get it from you.
Please get it from me.
It is permanent.
It is our home. It is our home as FDC.
Okay.
Naja na Ngumbi headquarters FDC headquarters are housed in the FDC premises.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Now, are you seeing the FDC taking Uganda to the victory of 2026 presidential elections and the parliamentary elections? Paint a picture now of that election.
I am hopeful.
We have now less than 3 years.
I am hopeful.
The election.
I am hopeful that come 2026, FDC will be looking more and beautiful than what you see today. I am not doubtful on this.
In terms of what?
In terms of
structures, numbers,
both.
In all.
Numbers, the
yeah.
structures we are talking about, the messaging, and I think in terms of cooperation.
In terms of cooperation. Now, within your perspective, are you seeing Uganda getting a free transfer of power from one government to another government peacefully? And if yes, from the ruling national NRM to the opposition or within the NRM?
Of course, like the practice, as we have experienced it for the last close to 40 years, NRM has never chosen to relinquish power to any other body apart from Museveni.
Not even within.
Not even within.
Yes.
And that's why you see there are fights between him and the son.
Yes. There are no fights.
There are fights. There are fights. Of course, you may not see them in the layman's side, but this is what it is. Yes, the son would want to take over from the father, but the father still seems to be holding on with the state house.
So how do you see that? The transfer of power.
The transfer
is it going to be from the you
it won't be peaceful. If Museveni is still stuck with power, it won't be peaceful because finally we will force him out.
Which one will force him out? The
Ugandans. 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 It may not be FDC, it may not be NU, it may not be DP, but I am very certain that Ugandans who feel it is time, even beyond time, will force him out. So I have no doubt there.
So you can't say it's going to be within or it's going to be the opposition.
Museveni's wish would be that after his death, okay? Yes. Okay? Yes. After his death, it would be better one of his sons or daughters to take over. Okay? Yes. Because still I am convinced that up to now Museveni has not made his mind that he should be able to see another president, whether from his family or not. In my mind, it's telling me that Museveni, up to now, is not convinced to relinquish power for anybody, apart from himself.
Apart from what you, according to how you are viewing him.
Yes, because if this was the case, at his age, and the way now he's doing things, okay?
Yes.
He should have, by the way, this would be the right time for him to think twice. And now that maybe he's worried of his life after the state house, this would be the time now maybe to begin preparing his own son or his own daughter for purposes of keeping himself after state house. But when you look at the way he's doing things, he's not yet to think of leaving power.
Okay.
Yes. So in his mind, to me, I see he has not yet developed any discussion into himself on whether if he is to leave, who to leave, whether from within or from opposition. Yes. But like I've told you, we can't wait to let him reason for us or decide for who should be next.
Okay.
We are more than prepared.
All right.
And we are planning for this as opposition. And that's why you have been hearing so many voices. Uganda is really somehow, somewhere are blaming
now
the leadership of political parties
on
why they should not think of uniting.
Yes,
and then
that's why I was coming. With this divided opposition, this is NUP, this is FDC, DP, EPC, DEMA. Are you seeing any possibility of coming together and joining forces for a common cause of leading this country?
I know, as a Christian who believes in sometimes miracles. Okay?
Yes.
I know it will one time happen.
The unity.
Yes, the united forces one time will happen.
We've seen it.
Though
it has ever tried to be.
Yes. That's why I can't lose hope. That's why I can't lose hope.
Okay.
Now that there are these voices, okay, these voices that call for it, I am certain soon those who used to think it may not be possible or it is not necessary will begin to reason in that direction. And I am certain we are getting there. Because locally we have been trying it. Yes, locally we have been trying it. Even in the last general election of 2021. As Kasese here, we tried it and though we did not succeed, but at least we had attempted to do it. Because at LOC5, we had a NUP candidate by the name of Moses.
And you supported him? No,
we did not support him, but we asked him to pull out for the FDC candidate. Yes. And yes, he will come to the idea. Okay. Much as it was too late, and by the time the message could reach the people, it was already polling day.
In fact, on that point, we've seen it. Some people are saying Dr. Kano Kasese, one of the founding fathers of this party, FDC, is trying to bring that unity by trying to lean now to NUP, because a couple of days ago we saw him at the NUP new headquarters. And some people are saying the FDC leadership, the mainstream, is not allowing that. Even in 2021, he proposed that FDC should support NUP candidate on presidential elections, but they didn't let him. So are you seeing this possible? And how do you take Dr. Kasese political step of now trying to side with another political party?
No, he's not. Kano Kasese, I think, is being misunderstood. He's not leaning to NUP only. Okay?
Yes.
Kano Kasese has put this very clear. He says it is now time that as opposition political forces come together.
Yes.
You get me? Does that mean NUP? Does that mean FDC alone?
But we are seeing
does that
mean NUP alone.
No.
We haven't seen him at UPC, DP. We are seeing him with the NUP.
No, then we are missing the point here.
Not once.
We are missing the point here. We are missing the point.
Put it clear.
When has DP held the national function like NUP held? When has DP invited yesterday?
No, it does not mean they should first have a function of opening offices. They are always with the press conferences, they are always with the party activities. We haven't seen him there.
Look here, Bwana Moderator. It is not the first time that yesterday has called on forces of change coming together for a common good. It was not yesterday but one, while at NUP, that he has made it for the first time. He has, by the way, consistently been communicating this. Whether on radio stations, whether in meetings, whether on social functions. Kano yesterday, not once, not twice, not thrice, by the way. He has consistently kept this message for quite long. Even remember, how did the TDA come about?
Yes.
You see?
In 2016.
2016.
Yes.
Now, people want just to look at yesterday in the 2023 and want to forget the yesterday of 2016.
Yes.
The message of yesterday.
We have seen him as if he's doing and forcing it him as an individual, not FDC as a party.
But remember, yesterday doesn't hold any office in FDC. So this time when he talks, when he speaks, he's talking as VSG, not FDC.
That's where we are saying it is VSG's initiative, not FDC as a party, to come together with other.
And we have had it, please. As FDC, we also buy the idea. That's why I've told you, even without the efforts of VSG or the efforts of Naja Nangumbi, we have ever had a coalition in Kasese here. I've given an example of the LOC5 race, where we sat as NUP and FDC, and we agreed that for the goodness of the opposition in Kasese, particularly on this position of LOC5, can we have the NUP out of this, so that we have the incumbent or the flag bearer for FDC?
Right.
Yes, and which happened. So this message of Colonel Yensije calling for a united force of the opposition forces coming into a one force that will see a one front line that will face off with NRM candidates is not a yesterday call by Colonel Yensije.
Okay.
So we should not misunderstand. Okay. The SCJ, number one, going to witness the grand opening of the NUP offices. Colonel SCJ has been a good friend, a good mentor of Bob Wine. Colonel SCJ has been a good friend, a good mentor of these other opposition political formations, including some colleagues in NUP. Like, for example, you remember this Right Honorable Leader of Opposition, Matthias Mbuga, was the team leader of 4GC. You remember? Yes, and he was DP by then. Now, did that mean that Colonel Yensije became a DP member?
No.
The answer is no. So when you see Colonel Yensije ever calling for united forces, don't just look at him as of yesterday. Okay. He has been with this message ever since.
Okay.
And he's not calling anybody, by the way, to join the NUP. No. He's saying, whoever would wish, okay, Uganda to live without the Museveni, okay, call for a united force. And because he was at NUP then people misunderstood him, like saying he was calling people to join the NUP. No. He's saying, after all, a political party as single-handedly cannot host Museveni. It needs united forces. Okay. So when he joins also maybe a conference with the DP, the good DP now in terms of opposition, he will still mention the same. When he joins ANT, maybe they have a function or they call him for anything, I am very certain he will speak the same message.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we wrap up, I don't know whether, Chairman, you have any good words to the government for have been released the Omusinga, the King of Prince Ruru, His Majesty Charles Wesley Mumbere, or if you don't have any word about that, we wrap up. Thank you.
Briefly, what I could maybe say, I thank God for really visiting them, visiting the NRM government, appreciating or getting to understand that doing the right thing to the innocent people is good. Yeah. Now that they came to appreciate that doing the right thing to the innocent people is good, we have to thank God for that.
Okay.
Now that we have the king and his subjects, the royal guards that were in the cells for the last 7 years, we have to appreciate God for that.
You appreciate God and the NRM government.
I am appreciating God for
giving a good
reigning over them, showing them what should have been done on day one.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank
Welcome.
you for your time.
Thank you
for those insights.
Please.
And we shall come back again.
Next time we are here for you.
When opportunity arises. So those are the perceptions of the Chairman Chairman FDC Kasese District, the new Chairman, Mr. KABUKU Ronald, the engineer, and we appreciate you for watching, and we shall be bringing you more to shape, to make sure that we have a shape on our country and how we are governed and how we live as people of Uganda. Once again, I'm Ajuna Pleasure. We are finishing this and this. We are going to catch up in other episodes. We wish you the very best.